Yeah.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
1.
Press it. Already. Hi.
Guess what?
What are you doing here?
Yeah,
I've got a cable.
You're all mixed up.
I'm not mixed up.
You're all mixed up.
I'm not mixed up at all. I'm here. I'm here. Where are you?
What a great way to start. I'm here. I'm here.
I am.
Yeah?
I'm here and I'm ready.
What
I'm
are you
ready.
What are you ready for?
I'm ready for talking about things that are interesting.
Okay. Okay. You're in a fighting mood after yesterday.
Yes.
You're in a fighting mood. You were all pumped up after your training.
Yes. I took the kids boxing yesterday.
That's not to make boxes, right?
No.
Let's be clear
No.
about this, right?
No. It's not to make boxes. It's to learn Thai boxing. Do you call it Thai boxing?
That's not to tie boxes either, is it?
No. No.
Okay. You went to the fire gym. That's what it's called, right?
Yes, I went to the fire
name.
gym.
I like the name of that, right?
Oh my God, those people are on fire. I can tell you that much.
What an aggressive title for a gym, right? They could have called it Water Gym or Peace Gym or
the gym of lying down on the sofa and doing nothing.
yeah.
Of course, you would have a. What happened?
Facebook. Facebook has.
Oh, I hate it when Facebook happens.
Facebook has happened. Facebook has decided not to allow us to publish the video.
Oh, mother fathers. Shall we make another one? Does this mean that we're offline? Can you check on your phone? Doesn't mean that we're off.
Yes, it says live video stopped, and there's absolutely no option.
We'll close the browser and reopen the browser.
She said. She said. I was waiting to see if anything was going to happen with it, but there's no button to click. There's no thing that's pop up. It just says your live video has stopped. There was an error while publishing. I think it's going to do that to people who don't invest large amounts of money in their system.
And they would
shut down all the independent people.
They would like to, but then Facebook don't let them.
Don't let who do what? What?
People invest money.
Oh, you're talking about yourself.
I'm talking about myself and my problem that still persists, and everybody tells me.
Want to reload this site? I guess we do.
Okay.
Because it's not. It says. It just says, please try again later. It's like those government call systems, right? Mm-hmm. Where you call for advice and they're like, all of our operators are busy. Please try again later, or hold, and they play classical music, which is supposed to not make you angry, but it just has completely
the opposite effect.
Completely the opposite effect, doesn't it? So, while the podcast runs like what?
Mad chicken.
Like a like a mad chicken. Isn't this great? Facebook cannot access Facebook.
Press it quickly.
What?
Press it quickly before it goes away.
Oh, I've got to write what it is first.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Talk. The podcast is still running, so you have to talk about something.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that.
But I can't spell. I can't spell.
Yeah, wheel. Well spelled wheel. W-E-E-L-E. It's quite funny.
That's wheelie.
Wheelie, yes, I know. He was wondering why other words don't fit in his crosswords. Anyway.
You
know, that's funny that it's funny because everybody tells me just keep writing to Facebook tech support. Just keep writing to them.
Yeah,
I had to send 6 messages, but they're not even replying.
It's not people, it's a machine.
I've sent like eight messages, minimum 8 messages.
The Borg system.
Plus 2 more today. And
wait,
they're not even replying anymore.
For the people who are watching.
Oh my God, are we live already?
For the people who are...
Sorry.
For the people who are watching on Facebook, this video will be mirrored to YouTube. This is our second attempt as Facebook shut down the first attempt to make a broadcast.
Facebook is just being Facebook.
Yeah, it just recognizes your face and goes, no, no, I don't book your face. You can't come in. Yeah, yes, yeah. Well, if you were an intelligence agency, then Facebook would be the ultimate creation, wouldn't it? Anyway,
they're doing the evil thing now. Have you noticed the evil thing that they're doing since yesterday?
More evil than before. Is that even possible?
Well, they shut down all the generic content. And you've got content that you post on your page.
What did they do?
You know how before everything you posted on the page, when people liked a page, the whatever you posted on your page would appear on their wall, right? Well, that doesn't happen anymore. There are no pages on the wall. People can't see any posts from pages on their feed. They have to click on a special icon on the left.
Oh, is that the Explorer?
Yes, the Explorer icon to be able to see anything from the pages, which means basically means that less people will be reached by whatever you post on your page.
Okay, now explain this to me again. I'm 5 years old because I actually... Maybe, and you studied this a bit more than me, so you probably know a bit more than me about this.
No, I haven't studied it. I just have an opinion. I only have an opinion. I haven't really studied.
Okay, well, if you explain to me how it works or doesn't work, right? Okay. Because I actually like the Explore feed option. So explain to me why it's bad for me, because maybe I don't understand.
I think it's bad for me because before, when people liked my page, it would, my posts would automatically pop up on their wall. Right? They didn't have to...
So when somebody clicked like on...
my page.
Your page. Like on what on your page? On your page?
Like
or
the page. Like the page. When you follow a page, right?
That page would automatically go to their page.
Then whatever I post on my page, it's like when their friends post, right?
If you click like, it doesn't appear on your page. It's never appeared. Nothing has ever appeared on my page because I clicked like on somebody else's page.
Well, it depends on how many oftentimes you are on the page.
What?
If Facebook notices that you go to a certain page more often, then it's going to post more posts from that page on your wall, right? Like, for example, I would like one page, and I never was involved in any discussion on that page or anything. I just liked it. Then it wouldn't come up on my wall. But when I was more involved with a page, at least that's
I have never observed that.
No. Because I had posts from pages that I've liked.
I just don't know.
I've had posts that were not boosted posts. They were generic content from the pages that I liked appearing on my wall. Okay.
Oh, if you like a page.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, that's never happened to me. It's never happened to me that I liked a page and their post appear on my wall.
Really?
Yeah, really. It's never ever happened. No, maybe you're confusing your wall. Sorry for the technical stuff, people, but
the newsfeed.
The newsfeed's not your wall.
Well, I mean the newsfeed.
That's
sorry.
I'm not.
I've got my terminology wrong.
The newsfeed is not your wall.
I'm sorry. I meant the newsfeed. Yes.
Yeah.
The home. You click home, and you get your newsfeed, right?
Yeah.
And whatever
call that home. But,
sorry. whatever pages you follow, you get their post in your newsfeed.
Yeah, and now they've put them
Now that doesn't happen anymore.
Well...
Which means that people have to go to... It just means less reach for the pages because people now have to click on the icon and they consciously have to go and look for that, right? Look for that information.
I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with that, but people will do that less often. They're not going to do that regularly, okay? So things that would have reached them in their newsfeed are just going to pass them by because let's say they click on the Explore option in every evening, okay, once a day, but they check out their Facebook, say, 6 times a day, okay, their newsfeed. So things that I post in the morning, they click on the Explore option in the evening, And they probably won't even get to see my post because there's going to be so many other things already piled up on top of it in the
yeah,
Explore.
but you can
thing,
choose to
right?
see first.
Sorry?
You can choose see first. There's an option to see the posts of people that you like first at the top.
See the post of people
It's
that
called
you
see
like first. What does that mean?
Under notifications,
Yes.
you can click see first, and that means that you choose this as a priority page, and that will appear at the top of your feed.
But it's too complex for people.
There's
too much work for people.
It is work for people,
If
but there's already so much traffic going through Facebook that if you imagine the number of posts that are going up, I mean, it's like it's like rapid fire machine gun now. I think that. Well, I was a bit confused by everything going into the Explorer page because at first, because as usual, Facebook give no information to people about what they're doing. They just change it and let people discover.
Yeah.
The same way that there's now at the beginning of the live options on Facebook, there's now a screen share. Which wasn't
I've noticed that yesterday.
Yeah, that just appeared yesterday.
I was confused.
And then I was like, okay, great, you can share your screen while you're doing something live. However, when you click live, notice that the screen share disappears.
Oh.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was me thinking, oh, you can screen share while you're live with people.
Almost.
Well, almost. But the option disappears the moment you click live. So obviously the monkeys behind the machines are playing about with the technology.
Well, anyhow, that step just means, that your generic content will have less reach. Therefore, you just have to pay, basically.
Well, it's all going to be like that at the end of the day, sadly. I mean, things are only ever free for short periods of time. So, so eventually you have to pay for
I would love to pay. I would love to pay Facebook, but you don't want to take my money.
To pay?
Please, take my money. Let me make adverts. I love them.
I'll tell you what. You give me money and I'll make adverts for you. How does that sound?
No.
No. No, you don't. You don't like that idea, do you?
No, I don't.
So Facebook are playing around with the technology again. So in the podcast, you're going to get the full version with all the panic, probably. And if you're just watching the video live, you're going to miss the, oh my God, look, Facebook has shut us down again. So,
but I mean, it just bugs me. It just bugs me. It bugs me.
Well, I'll tell you what bugged me today. I told you what bugged me today was I was going through the YouTube live wall. I was going through my YouTube subscription wall, sorry, and I saw, English class live, and I thought, I want to, that looks like a great idea. I've been trying to work on that myself. One second.
Welcome to What Bugs Me Today. This is Janka NG. JNG is all you write on your thing. Right.
What,
and there's running kids running wild, being crazy, riding a motorcycle.
There's a bike going around the flat. Right.
But yeah, this is what bugs me today, and you can just continue.
Well, but I know that YouTube and Facebook have already had issues with people streaming pre-recorded content as live content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
you can do that.
What do you think I've been doing with technology for the last 6 months?
You can stream pre-recorded content.
What do you think all the programs I were using were doing?
I don't know.
We're loading up. Okay. Look, if you can share your screen.
Yeah.
Right. Then
they stream their screen.
You can stream anything that's on your screen, and if you play about with it a little bit, she can't run over the cable with the bike because that'll be.
Get out of here.
Close the gate. Closed. Beep beep beep.
Darling, leave the bike. We'll go outside with it, but not just yet, okay? Park it and watch the ballerina movie.
You become a parent. You become an expert at sound effects, right? So Yeah, so that's what people have been doing. People have been pre-recording videos and then sending them out as live or streaming them as live when they're not live. Or, what other people have been doing is streaming other people's material live as their own material, or people have even been idiots have been streaming films, right? Which is just pointless, right? Pointless. What you can stream, which I've seen is, and what I think is really good, is
me and you.
Yeah, constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could just have us. You could just have us on repeat, right? Yeah. So no, what I have seen is streaming of commentary on events. Right, now let's take a really crass example. Let's say somebody's watching Formula One on TV, right? And they don't want to listen to the stupid commentators on Formula One. They can go online and they can find people who are doing their own private commentary on the event. It could be save the world. Save the world.
Now what?
Bottle of juice without its top has appeared suddenly.
Can I close it? Thank you.
Good job, Jazzy.
Thank you.
Good job. Well done.
Now what?
No spills.
Do you want to come here?
There's a first.
Do you want to talk to people on the camera?
Yeah? Can you get the chair off the cable?
Ow!
What do you? What? I just touched you. Why did you scream?
This was painful.
It'd be painful.
You nudged me in my tender spot.
A tender spot? Which spot is that? Where are you going? Where's everyone going? Why are you leaving me here? Again, what is a tender spot? How do I know if it's tender or not before I touch it? There should be a warning sign on women. It might have tender spots. Be careful. Don't touch. Then I would know. Or maybe you could post a list of tender spots each day that I perhaps shouldn't touch. Okay, right. Just as a post podcast note, I've got a meeting here.
What?
I have a meeting here. Yeah, when we finish.
I know.
Okay.
We have to finish about 10 minutes before 2 so that I can quickly.
Yeah. The sound effect. I was talking earlier about the sound effects. Parents become experts at sound effects.
My entire body is a tender spot after yesterday.
The tender trap. Do you before I rant about the streaming thing and explain about the streaming thing, which is that I'll just finish. We have to go back to the gym discussion, which people on Facebook would have
missed.
Would have missed, but the podcast people are going to have to listen to the same stuff twice. Yes.
But you can always edit it out.
No, I can't. I don't have time to edit. You don't know how long it takes to edit stuff, do you? You just think that I magically sit in front of the computer, scratch my whatever, and
edit.
And then suddenly the edit appears on the net. No.
No?
It's much more complicated than that. Yes.
You don't just go like, ding, edited.
Was that a sound effect again? Tink means what? I scratch my nose.
No, tink means when something pops up. It's like a computer notification.
Oh, so for you, pop is tink, even though it's pop for the rest of the planet, right?
Well,
something tinks up for you, whereas it pops up for everybody else.
But tink is an onomatopoeia. Pop is just doesn't sound pop.
Pop is onomatopoeia.
Yes, but when you listen, when you've got something, when your notification goes off on your phone because somebody sends you a message on Facebook, it doesn't go pop. It goes ding.
That really annoys me. That noise really annoys me.
Ding. That one.
Yeah, luckily you can't do it very well. So. Too late.
I'm just gonna do it in your sleep. I'm gonna do it at night.
Oh, that's the worst. You're just about falling asleep and there's a notification or a vibration or
I'll put my alarm clock on for it.
Light goes off. Or as happened this morning.
I'll get up at 2 just to go ding.
You sit on the throne for your morning relaxation.
Your morning relaxation routine.
Yeah, and having left the phone on the kitchen table, the alarm then goes off and you can't get
the whole flat. Dun, 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 dun.
And I'm screaming, I can't get to my phone! Somebody turn off the alarm! Oh my god!
That's why I take my phone everywhere, every time. First,
What do you mean? You can never find your phone. How could you
that's
take
because
it
I always
anywhere?
take it to the toilet and leave it there.
Oh.
Because in the morning, you know, kids sometimes wake up just before my alarm clock, and I have to run off to the kids' room. And if I left my phone at the bed and ran off to the kids' room without it, I know for 100%
Because you've never left your phone by the bed when you've gone and done
that
that.
the
right?
alarm clock would go off in that very second. Well, I have, and I've learned my lesson.
I've learned it as well. I keep a hammer by the bed now.
Well, maybe I should have hammered your phone on the kitchen table this morning.
Well, I'm impressed with the fact that you managed to turn it off. No, really, I am.
Because I'm a woman and I don't know how to turn off an alarm. Normally.
Oh, yes. Basically. No, because it's got that big button in the middle. And the sliding one at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And with people, there's an
Wouldn't
automatic...
believe this, but mine has exactly the same thing.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable. You're
You've
right.
lost your
Don't
owl.
believe it.
Where?
What? Owl.
Ah!
The owl. She's lost her owl. Oh, can I see the owl?
No.
Can I have a look at the owl for 1 second, please, darling?
No.
Please. Please. Can I have it? Can I have it? No.
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 You can have a look at this conker.
I don't want to have a look at the conker. Why do we have... The flat is full of conkers. They're under the bed. They're under the chair. They're on the kitchen floor. I keep
They're
standing on them. They're in
everywhere.
the bathroom. They're
Good
in
for your
the bath. They're...
It's good massage for your feet. Hey, I should glue gun them on a rug or something. We should get a little piece of rug.
I should just lob them all off the balcony.
And you should glue gun them on the rug, and then you can walk on them like on the pebbles and massage your soles of your feet.
I'm speechless. I'm
Wouldn't
not sure
that
what
be a
to
good idea?
No.
But at least they wouldn't be everywhere. They would all be in
Why
one
don't I just
spot.
glue them to your feet and you can just walk around and have a permanent massage on your feet? How good
That's
would
true,
that
but
be?
I probably wouldn't be able to stuff them into my shoes. But then I wouldn't have to wear shoes because they'd be like natural soles. That could be a name for a blog. Natural soles.
I just tried to process all of the language, right? I can't do it. There's something very sensory about this.
Yes, I've noticed that.
About holding something which is not right.
And this is old and shriveled, but when they're fresh, they're very, they're shiny and...
It's like people. Basically.
They just call you conker.
I can't even speak now. Conkers are symbolic of life.
You conker.
Conkers. Right.
Sounds like plonker.
Yeah, I just thought it.
Or other curse, which I'm not going to pronounce.
Other curse. The other curse. Yeah, that's a good piece of terminology. So I'm going to give this to you to put over there because otherwise I'm going to just fondle it for the next. I'm going to fondle a conker for the next half an
I
hour.
might file for a divorce
Yes.
if I
fondle-
found you fondling conkers all the time.
You can't file for a divorce.
Well, I can't because we're not married.
Not married.
I would marry you and then I would file for a
You
divorce.
could file for a pretend divorce. Right. Because we're pretend married. Right.
I'm not pretending anything.
I have to go and I have to check the. I have to go. I don't have to go anywhere. I have to.
Check the
I have
streams.
to check the streams.
If the streams are streaming.
Facebook is doing all these things. So what you're saying basically is the rocket.
Yes,
on
you have
the
to click the
Facebook.
bloody rocket if you want to see anything that's happening on the
Yeah.
pages that you like.
Yeah, and also these.
It's
keep-
too much
the options
work for your
the
average
options keep
person.
changing at the top as well.
Yeah.
It now tells me that 2 people have checked into the Academy of Language Therapy, which of course they haven't. Because, no, because it's a virtual school. So how the hell can somebody check
in.
into a virtual school? And it's not connected to Facebook. Anyway, that's just really
Your
weird.
Facebook is not connected to Facebook. What?
No, my.
He's standing in the middle.
I'm sorry. Am I pushing
not
you
in the
out?
picture. Yes.
Yeah.
As usual.
Oh dear. Okay, I apologize. Let me check that this is going out live on Facebook because there's no way to test.
Yes, look.
Well, they've added all those options, right? But they still haven't added an audio bar so that you can check the audio is going out. Okay. Am I pushing you out?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
See.
Dude, it done. Ah!
What was that?
Oh look, I got a message from the computer shop.
Yeah? What did they say?
I don't know. It's just
Your computer.
disappeared after.
Your
2
computer
seconds.
is completely dead. We tried to immerse it in acid to see if we can solve the problem, but it didn't help.
No, but it melted the acid or something. I don't know. There were 4 technicians standing around it when I went into the shop this morning.
And they were all shaking their heads and scratching their heads.
The same head.
Yeah.
Their own heads, not
Each other.
What a sight.
Well, I'll be damned.
My hair's all messed up today.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
I do
You didn't
actually
comb
look,
it this morning, did you?
I do actually look like McSquizzy today.
Kids are being funny. Sorry, we're just laughing here for no obvious reason,
lot of
but that's
insanity
because kids
going
are
on
being
in
funny.
the background.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Life. No, let's bring a bit of reality. Oh no, the good.
What?
Life is a 2017.
Sorry, panic.
I wanted. It's dangerous. It just turns on the Google.
Yeah. Just Google
the
voice
OK
recognition
Google thing just turns on by itself.
It just picks up on random words.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, your notebook is fine. There was a problem with graphical adapter driver.
Excuse me. Who there?
What?
What?
What's a graphical adapter driver? I know what a graphics driver is, but a graphical adapter driver.
Okay, what else?
Yours sincerely.
Name. I need to leave you for 3 seconds.
There's some Indian guy, obviously, working in the local shop there. Are you? Where are you going? This is. There's much nonsense. Much nonsense. You think I make this stuff up? I don't. Look, I don't make it up. Oh, you can't see the message, can you? Because the contrast is too high. But it's there. It's there. So. We need to get around to talking about the gym. Definitely. We need to get around to talking about what I don't like about people streaming stuff which is not live, calling it live, which is going to mess up the system for everybody. You know, when you have something which is good, don't fuck it up for everybody. Yeah, just don't even go there. Don't even think you're smart by doing stuff like that. You know, when all this live stuff first came out, I realized that, hey, I can preload stuff and pre-record stuff and, you know, use the screen sharing functions to put out stuff which I've pre-recorded as live. And then I thought, no, but that's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong to do that. You just don't want to go down that road, of course. And then Facebook will have to create algorithms and other things to realize that something is not live, and you'll have people monitoring it, and it's not going to work out well for anybody at the end of the day if people start playing around with it. And it's nice to have that function. So there I am going through the subscriptions, and a door slams. Welcome back and goodbye. As Yanka sprints across the flat to discover what has happened in the children's world. The trouble is that sometimes some of the kids want to play with the other kids, and some of the kids don't want to play with the kids that want to play with them. important to recognize the boundaries that the children have. It's important to recognize that kids need their space as well. They definitely do. Having one room for 3 kids is
Fun.
it's fun. There's actually quite a lot of space in the room if you take into consideration things. There's a lot of cupboard space. You just don't push me. The cables will come undone. Don't hit me in the balls again, otherwise there'll be no. Right. So, I want to get to my point about. You just whacked me in the arm. Oh well, that makes it all better.
I know.
Yes, Mr. Police Officer. She punched me several times.
Several times.
You did? You punched me twice? That's several.
The first one wasn't a knockout punch.
Oh, so it has to be a knockout punch. Oh,
To count, yeah.
Oh my god. It's. Did you learn that in the gym yesterday? Did you? No, that was a soft one. It has to be a knockout punch.
Yeah.
Every punch has to be a knockout punch, right?
Yeah. Doesn't count if it doesn't knock you out.
Doesn't count if they don't feel it. Is how it should be. Right. So, just before we get onto the gym, I'm going to hammer out this thing about the live stuff, which bugs me, right?
Hurry up, which is droning.
Excuse me, I'm doing what?
Droning.
I'm drowning.
Not drowning, droning.
No, I'm not. I'm filling.
Okay.
I'm filling. Right. Meanwhile, in the background,
something's happening.
Much madness. So, so I saw this English class live.
Mm-hmm.
So I clicked on it, and it was a pre-recorded video of one of their learn this part of English or whatever. And the whole point of live is interaction.
Yeah.
And spontaneity.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And there were people writing in the box, oh, this is great, and it obviously wasn't live because there were no real-time subtitles on the screen. And the person wasn't pausing or hesitating and was pronouncing everything perfectly. And
he's not interacting with the people, most of all.
Yeah, I just think that's wrong.
Like us, we're interacting all the time, right?
What?
Well, we're interacting all the time.
We're even pronouncing words.
Hi, Susan. Like that.
Who's Susan?
Nice to see you again. Doesn't matter. But it looks like we're interacting.
We do when people pop up and pass through.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. So there, and then they catch up with us later, right? So I've got that off my chest now. It just bugs me. It's wrong. And
Yes.
Stop it. If you're doing it now, stop it. It's not big. It's not clever. It's not smart. It's not better.
It doesn't even save time, right? I mean,
well,
how does it even save time?
Well, it's based on the principle that more people will click on a live video than will click on a static video or pre-posted video.
Yeah, I get it. But, I mean, if you record something and then you have to put it on live, why don't you just go on live? Doesn't that take you less time?
The thing is that you build up content, and then it's like, what do you do with the content?
You just reuse it all the time.
You want to recycle the content.
That's just boring.
So you end up building up a sort of, you basically create 24 hours of content, right? And then you just recycle it.
That is just fake, people. That's just fake. Yeah. There is so many fake businesses out there, and they're harming the real businesses out there because people are getting tired and sick of all the fakeness that's out there, of all the, oh, hey, come on in and grab this super cool free thing. And then they don't give you any value. They just poop out a sheet of paper full of nothingness and just offer it as a prezi, and you're like, well, thank you very much for this toilet roll, but I have enough of those at home, right?
Oh yeah, welcome to every government agency that exists, basically. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're so cool, we're giving you all these things for free. well, no, you're not giving us anything. You're just taking our time.
I will never forget the debate I had with a client about working for the government being questionable in terms of effectiveness, right? And the person turned to me at the end and said, "But I don't work for the government. I work for a private company." And I said, "But you have government contracts."
Private, yeah.
You're a private company, but you have government contracts, which means you work for the government. And the person stopped and looked at me and thought, "Oh, I never thought of it like that." Yeah, because you never thought of anything at all. Never thought of anything at all. Oh my God. So it's like if you called an apple an orange, people would start arguing that it's an orange and it's never been an apple. I mean, it's insane. It's insane the lack of thought that is occurring. Anyway, so we've been looking for these activities for the kids for sports and athletics.
People call them extracurricular activities, but they're actually curricular activities.
They are definitely. They're key activities.
Yeah.
Is what they are. Yeah. So we've been looking, and we sort of ran through the karate and the judo and
we've been to taekwondo last school year in May, June, and that didn't impress anybody.
And this week was the dance and the kickboxing, right?
Yeah, the Thai box, Muay Thai, whatever you call it.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
That's just sounds a bit odd, doesn't it?
This is Muay Thai.
No? Yeah, exactly. So, well, first there was the dance this week. And
Zora wasn't impressed.
Zora wasn't happy with the dance. So what was that about?
It was a bit boring, I suppose. They're kind of hopping around in circles and doing various things with their arms, and she just didn't enjoy it. But I think she didn't enjoy it because she was used to something else. I told you before, and I'm telling this to everybody out there, that when you take your child to lessons, it does not matter if it's especially at this age, this early age, it does not matter if it's done all professionally and whatever. The only thing that matters is the attitude of the teacher towards the children. Okay. I mean, we went to judo, right? And it was like an hour and a half long training. And there were 3 teachers, but their attitudes towards the kids was such that the kids didn't enjoy it. They were just like, we're the teachers and we're the mean guys and you have to train hard or whatever. They had games at the beginning, but the woman who ran it, she never smiled at any of the kids. She was just like, stop talking and get in the line. And I was just, I mean, the kids may be used to that from school, right? So they probably didn't think it was anything extreme, but Will hated that. Okay. And I didn't like it. It was just the usual no basic respect kind of relationship. And I think that Zora didn't like the dancing lesson also because, they finished and I asked her, she had no idea what the name of the teacher was, right? And the old dancing lessons that she went to in Scotland, they all knew the teacher's name. They all talked to her friendly. She talked to them friendly. She was basically playing with them. She didn't make them play or whatever, right? And this trainer, she was obviously showing them all the dance moves, but she wasn't on the same level. She was the teacher. She wasn't on the same. You have to get down to this. With 4-year-olds, you have to get down to their level. With 3 and 4-year-olds,
you have to shake off the adult persona.
Yeah. Even when they went to karate, right? Zora was 3, and Will was freshly 6, I think. Even that teacher there, she was great, she was still the authority there because she knew everything, what everybody was doing. She did give out, timeouts when kids were misbehaving and disturbing everybody else. She would be like, okay, sit on a bench or do some push-ups or whatever. But she did it in a way that was friendly and kind of humorous, So the kids dug her. You know what I mean?
She was dagged by the kids.
Or Will's old taekwondo teacher, Mark. Everybody knew he was Mark.
I liked him. I met him for 2 seconds, and I liked him.
He was great. He's great. He had, I don't know if it was the respect towards the kids, or if it was the sense of humor. But I mean, he had a respect, and he demanded respect as well. He told Will off once, but he did it in a funny way. So, because you know how Will is. He's like, he says funny things in some situations. He doesn't get the whole adult-child hierarchy thing, because we don't really do that.
No,
right?
we don't.
He can say what he thinks at home, and sometimes he's right. And Mark was checking the time on his phone when Will went for the testing, right? For the yellow belt. Mark was checking the time on his phone when the kids came in. It was just Will and another 2 boys, I think. And Will saw Mark there with his phone, and he said, "Have you just been playing games on your phone all this time?" And he said it kind of pissed offedly, right?
The way he does, yeah. He says it very straightforward.
Yes. And the teacher just looked at him and he was like, "Would you like to leave the room?" Or, So I think we'll understand the cue and said, "Oh, sorry," but there you go. His mouth sometimes gets him to trouble, but still, it was not done from Mark's side in any malicious way or anything, So.
Yeah, we had to come back with something.
Anyway, the point is, most important thing is a good teacher who has a way with kids, right?
Yeah.
You have to know.
I think you need to have a certain natural communication ability. I don't think it can be learned. This idea that, throwing teachers into school for 5 years will put them in the right position to educate people. I think that it's misguided. People who set it up, their hearts are in the right place. The people who are involved, their hearts are in the right place. But it's like trying to turn a donkey into a horse, right? You're either good at it essentially, or you're not. You can't. There are certain barriers, both physical and psychological, beyond which it's very difficult for people to grow. Oh,
girls, Zora, what is it?
Zora, can you let go, please?
Zora, can you share them with Jazz, please? Jazz, do you need to pee?
That's a bad sign, because she hasn't peed for a while. Zora!
They've just been at it all day today. Just been fighting.
I didn't even touch Zora. She started screaming earlier because I was too close to her.
She's doing that today. Yeah.
Why is she doing? Why is she doing that today?
I don't know.
Need to go out, don't they? Need to exercise.
Yeah. She does need to go out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I was at a.
What's the time? Are we okay for the time?
Yes. I want to get onto the kickboxing stuff. And before that, there's hip hop dancing in town. Do you think that that would be good for?
We can try that. Yeah. Where in town?
There are clubs. There are lots of different clubs. I mean, where? I'm not an expert. Go on the internet. Type in hip hop.
I did type in various dance classes, and I did want to check them out one by one for her. But I was asking whether you had any particular information.
Go to some kind of we'll all be dainty girls kind of dance class, right? To pick something more up to date with a beat, sort of more alternative, and some kind of hip hop class or something might be.
Maybe they'll be doing popcorn jumps. She was disappointed that there were no popcorn jumps at the dance lesson.
Well, that's the difference in approaches to the whole idea, isn't it? Right. So yesterday was the kickboxing class.
Yeah.
So give us a quick overview of that, because Will said that he enjoyed it.
He loved it. He finished and he loved it.
You said that you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Zora got tired halfway.
Jazzy, please don't run over your sister with the bike.
Jazzy, darling, I know you're bored and you want to interact with your siblings, but that's not a way to do it, because you're just going to annoy them.
Perhaps you could sit down for a few minutes and
watch Ballerina?
Watch Ballerina? Maybe. No, she says.
She knows what she wants, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, quick overview. Well, it was great. I don't know. There were two trainers for the kids. There was a guy and a lady. I didn't really watch much because I was
parents
exercising.
And kids can do together, right?
Well, they're not actually doing it together, like side by side, right? It's two groups. It's children and women at the same time, and they've got two exercise areas. Okay, one is where you do all the fighting, boxing. It's got the heavy bags hanging off the ceiling, and the other one is like a ring, like an enclosed, like a
boxing ring.
Yes, like a boxing ring. And the kids basically did very similar stuff like they did at the karate lesson that they went to, which is their first thing that they ever took here in Bistrica. And so they were like running and hopping and jumping, and they had the training with those, like a roll-up ladder kind of thing that you put on the floor, and you have to jump in and out, and the footwork. That's tiring. Yeah, that's so the footwork and games and forward rolls and just basic physical prep for the fighting. They didn't have any punches yet, I think. I'm only telling you what Will told me, okay? Because I was doing my stuff. I was exercising with the women. And first we were with the punching bags, and the kids were in the ring. And then, like half an hour later, we swapped. Okay. Yeah. So it was very good. The training for women was very, very sore. Very tiring and very good. Zora said that she didn't enjoy it that much, but I think she got tired half the way and she just needed to rest a little bit. Because she's, that she gets tired more easily than Will. She's kind of that, thin, small person.
Guys,
I was like that as well when I was a kid.
Bit of a fight.
Jasmine!
Zora, let go, please. Zora,
Jasmine!
Please let go. Please let go.
Jasmine, would you like to share with Zora?
That's... Jasmine's not really doing anything wrong.
No? What did Zora do?
Zora's just being upset at anything that anybody
Jazzy,
does.
would you like to give one horse to Zora? And share? Well, think about it. It would make her happy.
Well, it's like Zora's just playing on the reactions to it. She's not doing anything wrong. What are you thinking?
I'm watching Jasmine. I'm sorry, am I out of the picture?
Yes, you've drifted out of the camera.
I was just watching Jazzy! Would you like to give that bike to your sister so that she can ride it?
No, she offered to give it back to her. She offered to give it to her.
Yeah?
She said no. No. She offered her lots of stuff and she said no.
Oh, well. Never mind. Let them figure it out maybe this time.
Themselves.
See if they can.
Themselves. Okay, talking about control of people in groups, there were some classes at the swimming pool this morning. There was one woman who had no control over her class. Absolutely no control. Everyone was saying what they want, doing what they want, and this woman she just ended up shouting at the kids, and the kids weren't even listening to her when she was shouting. So see,
for example, I'm okay with my kids because I know my kids and I have a connection, right? I know what they're doing, I know their reactions and everything, and I know what I can tell them. But I've never tried working with other people's kids, and I don't feel comfortable in that position. Okay, well, I did babysitting when I was like 17, but I just don't feel comfortable because I don't know. I feel like when I don't have a relationship with the child, I'm kind of embarrassed. It's weird. But thank you.
Jazzy's brought us a present. What is it, Jazzy? What have you brought us? Three horses, one on top of the other. And on top of the 3 horses is...
Unicorn's head.
It's not a unicorn's head.
It is.
Are you serious? I thought it was a pig's head.
Can I show Dad?
No!
It was a pink unicorn rubber.
Okay. So...
It's wonderful, darling. Thanks.
That's super cool. Thank you very much. So
I think that some people just aren't meant to be working with children. You know? I consider myself...
That fits into the category of people who are doing the wrong job, which is at least 50% of people in society.
I consider myself one of those people because I don't feel comfortable with other people's children. Maybe if I did it, maybe if I put myself in that situation and worked with other people's children for a year, then I would maybe acquire some kind of... Maybe I would feel more comfortable with the situation. I would kind of get used to it, and I would be more self-confident in the situation.
If you don't want to do it, what is the point? If you don't actually want to do it.
Yeah, no, there's no point.
There's not much point, forcing.
The point would be just that.
I'm going to force myself to work with kids. It's
just
like, no.
Personal exploration, like when you force yourself to exercise.
You shouldn't have to force yourself. You put yourself in the environment, you see how well you cope with it, and then you live with the consequences of it. So that's it. It doesn't have to be forced.
Yeah, well, what I meant would be to try and see if I would become quite happy in that situation, or if it just wouldn't change ever, right? But I don't think I would cope in a state-run nursery or kindergarten, because I don't know.
State-run anything. No. Look, any teacher who's on the inside of the education system will tell you the same thing. Every single education system in every single country is falling apart. The only way forward is homeschooling. It's the only way.
Even my mom said that.
Yeah, that's what
which is shocking.
Yeah, I was chatting with someone in the system last week, and they were saying that there's a growing movement towards this as the only solution to problems, as reorganizing the deck chairs on the Titanic doesn't save the people on the ship, basically.
Yeah.
So.
I was solving a problem with one mother came to me on Facebook because she felt that I could maybe help her, and she sent me a message, and she asked me about what to do when she didn't know what to do because her kid was not coping with going to the kindergarten, right? He was your basic usual age when kids go to kindergarten in this country is 3 years old, and she had to go back to work. Right.
Okay. There's 2 questions in my mind already. Number 1, I have no idea what it means to say the kid is when you say the kid is not coping, right? And number 2, why does she have to go back to work?
She has to go back to work because of the finances, because the state stops supporting you when the child reaches age 3. So you've
had 3 years to prepare.
Yes. So she couldn't financially afford not to go back to work.
So she's had 3 years to prepare to financially support herself at home.
And she didn't want to stay at home. She wanted to go back to work. She
didn't want to be with her kid.
She thought, okay, well, all the other kids cope, so she just assumed that her child would be okay there.
So she didn't think about it. Assumption means an automatic process with no real thought. Yeah,
exactly. She was just following the usual pattern.
She was just
you can see everywhere,
doing what everyone else was doing without thinking about it.
Yeah, she just wanted to go back to her job at the age of 3 of a child.
Problem solved. Okay, next.
It's not solved. It's not solved because she needed to go back to work, and her child didn't like the nursery or the kindergarten, right? They weren't ready. They're like unhappy, crying, didn't want to go there.
Did she prepare the child for the nursery?
You know, I did not ask because she needed to solve a problem, not for me to make reproaches or anything.
It's not a reproach.
So-
It's gathering background data
Mm-hmm.
is not a reproach.
I didn't find that information
okay,
important because
okay.
whether she did or didn't prepare the child, it obviously had made no difference because
It
the
obviously
child
made
had
a
a problem.
giant bloody difference because she's having to deal with. If you don't understand that present problems are the result of past mistakes, then you never correct what you're doing in the present.
Well, I gave her all
what
the
I'm saying?
steps.
You never
Yeah, I gave her all the steps that you do when you prepare your child to go to nursery, and I said, go through these steps now.
Okay, so she didn't go through
No.
them before.
No.
Well, there you go. That's what I said. Did she? I said, did she prepare the child? for
Most
kindergarten?
likely no.
No,
Because
there
she
you-
didn't do the
There you
steps
go.
that I
Because the
suggested.
problem exists because of something that is invisible.
Yes, but
what
I had
was
to.
not done is invisible. you
But I
see.
had to give her the advice now. What she can do now. Now. Well, how can you solve the situation now? When you already have a kid that doesn't want to go to kindergarten, but he has to go to kindergarten. How do
Oh,
you
yeah, it's
help
just
him
a-
cope? Or what do you do?
No, it's the same as our friend who has the father with the heart problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Is
They-
it?
Yeah, they have to solve the problem now.
Yeah.
You can't go back like 10 years and not
Change
eat
the
what-
diet,
Yeah,
obviously.
not eat what you ate and not do the exercise that you didn't do.
Yes, I mean people can realize, okay, I made a mistake, but that doesn't change the fact that I have to deal with a problem that I created and I have to deal with it now. So
Yes, but we all know that taking a pill to solve the hangover has nothing to do with a solution to a problem. With a real solution. I mean, you might not have a headache for a couple hours, but eventually you're going to go out and have another hangover, right? I mean, it's people's problems are the result of bad habits, usually. You can get the odd, unexpected thing that happens, right? But generally problems are the result of bad habits. So that means in order to have a better future, you have to have a lifestyle change. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to change your daily habits if you want anything to improve in the future. There's no one pill solution. There's no one step solution to everything. And I know that people come with, I've got this problem now, I need an answer to it now. But that's the wrong question. They're asking the wrong question. They're looking for the solution in the wrong place.
no,
It's like, that's like you just drove her bike into the wall. Which
no, I think she kicked her foot off the box or something.
was, oh,
Her knee.
I think you're up. Looks like a bit of. I think there's a reason why we have this general rule that the bike is not allowed inside. You make rules and you don't keep them, and the result is that accidents happen. You gotta keep to the set of rules that you allow yourself to have. Anyway, we were talking about the mother and the problems that people want. Instant solutions to the problems that they have now. And to say I've got this problem now and I need this answer now, that's you're asking for help, but you're really asking the wrong question. Because if you've got a problem now, you need to ask yourself, what did I not do? What did I not do that I should have done? There are basic questions that we need to explore. You need to understand today, you have to look at yesterday. To understand yesterday, you have to look at the day before. To understand what will happen tomorrow, you have to realize the single biggest predictor of future events is past actions and habits. So you really have to focus on understanding what choices you made. In our Amazing Parenting series, oh my gosh, they're both maybe you can hear the background sounds that they're this happens when the kids feed off each other's energy and they wind each other up. So you've really got to focus. Guys, if you're going to scream, is it possible you could scream in the other room? So, there we go. There's a parenting chaos in the background. So, I mean, I have people who come to me for help with improving their language skills. And some of these people are young and some of these people are older. And for the people who are older, say age 40 to 60, the first thing that is really important to me as a coach, as a mentor, as a tutor, is why do you have this problem now? Why is this important now? What have you been doing for the last 40 or 50 years that this wasn't important then, but it suddenly is important now? If you understand that you learn faster and in a more whole and complete way when you can absorb the information when you're younger, if you understand that, if your parents know that, and I think most averagely intelligent people understand this, why didn't you work on those skills? Why was it not important in the past? Why has it suddenly become important now? You know, it's like trying to correct the learning mistake is like trying to unsmoke the 5,000 packets of cigarettes that you smoked in your life. It's just, it's almost impossible to correct past mistakes without looking at lifelong habits and without going into the minutiae of every day, looking at what you do every day, breaking it down, and understanding what new habits are you going to fit into your life every day in order to make the changes you need to see happen.
Anyway, so, I wanted to...
welcome back. You've...
I decided to feed them.
They're eating crunchy balls.
Crunchy balls, yeah.
Crunchy balls.
Crunchy balls solve all the world's problems.
Yes, if there were more crunchy balls.
There would be no wars.
There wouldn't.
Basically.
There wouldn't. There'd be no sibling fights either. Right.
Anyway, so I was just telling you this story because I wanted to pick your brain. To see if you would have any other or any.
I think I have a very good solution to it.
If you would have a solution to the problem that would be a win-win situation for her and her child. Because if she stays home with the kid and is under financial pressure, it's not going to be good for anybody. Because she will not be happy in the situation and will be under immense financial stress.
Yeah, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Where's her husband?
Probably goes to work.
Where is he in solving this problem? He's nowhere. This is a conversation without the husband, right?
So
it's a conversation without the father.
Well, she told me about about the father. She told me that it's him who has the child in the morning, wakes him up because she's already at work at that time. Takes them to the kindergarten, and she's the one who picks the child up from the
So she's got like a night shift, and he's got...
She goes, I imagine she goes to work earlier in the morning and finishes earlier in the afternoon.
She goes to work earlier in the morning and finishes... Yeah, yes, Will, you've... Yes. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you. Right. He's figured something out again. Can you ask the question again? Because I was distracted by Will shouting.
I just answered your question. You asked me where the husband was.
Oh, okay. So, well, I asked about, does she have a night shift and he have a day shift then?
She goes to work early in the morning and finishes early in the afternoon. He goes to work later in the morning and finishes later in the afternoon. So what they do is he takes the child to the kindergarten later in the morning, and she picks the child early in the afternoon.
Slow down. I mean, I often find that people are, to make that kind of analogy, people are asking, how do I finish the race? How do I dip across the finish line so I win, right?
I don't understand your analogy.
Okay. 100-meter race, right? 100-meter. When you get to the 100th meter, you dip and you throw your chest out and you dive across the line to get your chest across the line first. Okay, that's a technique, right? So people are always asking, how do I dip across the line, right?
No.
But yes, that's this situation. That's exactly this situation. They're asking, how do I dip across the line? And I'm saying, whoa, backtrack. You got to run 100 meters first.
No, they're
You got to
asking.
get your start right. You're wanting to push a magic button, which is something's going to pop up and give you all the answers to the solution.
No,
when I'm telling you,
nobody's
it's a
asking
hard.
for a magic button, G.
Yes,
They are willing to put the hard work into it. Okay, they just want to help the child to cope with the situation.
Can I answer the question, please?
Okay.
Rather than you talking over the top of me and answering your own question, which if you listen back is exactly what you did, right? Right. I'm saying, and I'm using the analogy of the 100 meters, right, that they're asking, how do I dip across the finish line so I win? What I'm saying is that you completely are missing the whole point. Your question is wrong. Your analysis, you're analyzing the wrong part of the race. That part doesn't really matter because all of the problems come from mistakes in the past. Or maybe maybe mistakes is a strong word. Okay, so let's say all of the present problems come from actions that happened in the past. Wait, I'm not finished. Okay, let me finish. All of the problems come from actions that things that were done and were not done in the past. These people have entered a situation that they were not prepared for.
Yes.
And now they're saying, now that we're in a situation that we're not prepared for, how do we solve it?
Yes.
You see, you can't solve that until you understand that the problem is not this situation, the problem is the lack of preparation.
So what kind of practical steps do you suggest for, or what kind of action do you suggest for the parents to take?
Step one, you go back to the birth of the child and you look at the plans that you
go back how? Yeah, when you sit in a time machine.
You sit at the kitchen table with a notebook and you talk about the plans and the steps. You look at the plans and the steps that you planned out, and you look at the targets that you hit, and you analyze it, and you decide, okay, how did we not see this problem coming? When should we have realized that a problem might come and we might need to solve it? Because you need to always be thinking forward, right? You always need to be thinking about, if this happens, what next? You don't always have to have the answer, but you have to be ready for the problem, right? It's like a football team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't exactly know where the ball's going to be on the park at every second, right? But you've got your basic strategies, and you're ready to do certain things at certain points in time to give yourself advantages. So you prepare. You prepare. There's always the probability that you put your child in a kindergarten and the child's not going to be comfortable there. You've got to realize that. I mean, that should be, in my opinion, that should be a realization before you even have kids that might happen. To put your child into a kindergarten and think that all is going to be well and there's not going to be any problem is not a problem with the kindergarten, it's a problem with the thinking. And that goes back to being prepared. So people want to always solve things now. They're always looking for the magic pill. And I understand. I understand. We've got 5 minutes, right? I understand that people have a problem that they need to solve. But I'm saying this problem absolutely cannot be solved until you solve the thinking
Do
error.
it.
Until you solve...
You know where the potty is? Put down your balls. Thank you. Now take your pants off.
The other way.
Shut up. Jazzy, leave it, darling.
Jazzy,
Take your pants off
Jazzy, sit on the potty.
and sit on the potty first,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, no, she has to protect all her balls.
She's tidy up.
Okay.
Darling,
Okay,
darling, put them down on the
fine.
floor. That's
Sit
it.
on the potty. Move the potty to.
Move the potty a little bit and sit down on it.
Yeah. She's going to do step by step.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay,
That's
she'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she going to be able to sit down there? Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, she'll be
commentary on potty training from a distance, right?
So,
it's
okay, just to make long story short.
Okay.
Make long story short. So
Okay.
first
You've got
step.
60 seconds.
First step that they have to take is to sit down and realize where they made a mistake, right? What's the next step?
Because if you don't understand there was a mistake, you've got nothing to correct.
Yeah, we got it. Second, what's the next step?
The next step is looking at the different possibilities and options regarding their working scenario. Do they want to go to work or do they want to stay at home with the child? Do they want more time with their child or less time with their child? Right? That's the question they need to ask themselves. Right?
It's not about wants. Sometimes it's about needs.
Any situation can be altered by the choices that we make. Right?
Yeah, that's true. But if you have to go to work, otherwise your child will be hungry. There's no question. Okay.
Yeah, that's just that's an unfortunate circumstance, but still the result of choices.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want a step?
Yeah.
Well, the next step is
practical advice.
Practical advice. Well, you collect all the names of all the different kindergartens. You go and visit them personally. It takes time, but that's what you do. You go and visit them personally. You talk to the people there. You never send your children into an environment where you do not know the educators.
Mm-hmm.
Where you do not know the background of the educators.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know the religious orientation of the educators.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know the direction in which they want to take their education, and you do not have highly what's the word? Just good references, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good references for the place. And then you find out if it is possible for you in some way to, when you find the right place, what you think is the right place for your child, to monitor in some way what is happening there. You don't leave your kid there and just leave them to it, right? You want a kindergarten which is happy to have the parents involved in the work of the kindergarten, not a kindergarten that says, we know what's best, don't worry about it, we have a totally parents hands-off approach. No, you want parental involvement within the kindergarten so that the parents know what's happening there. And look at the type of people who are sending their children to that kindergarten, because you have to think about who do you want your child to mix with, because if your child's going to spend 4, 5, 6 hours a day with other kids, he's going to pick up their habits, he's going to pick up their language, he or she is going to pick up their habits, their language, their ideas, their philosophies, their psychology. So you have to be aware of all the steps in the process, and you also have to realize that there's no absolute guarantee that any of that's going to work. So these are the steps, and you find other people who have done it successfully. Find other people who have never take advice from someone who's not been successful with something, right? So find other people who have done it successfully and use them as your guide and your model. Always try and find a model that you'd like to copy. There.
Cool. Okay, thank you for your pieces of brain that you threw at me. I'm going to pass on the information. Yes, as an addition to whatever I told them to do.
Okay, there's one other final little thing, which is I once asked one of my the business people that I work with. I was like, when you're looking for a business partner, what would you look for in companies you want to partner with? And he said, something which I've recommended to a lot of people when they're looking for schools for their kids. Look carefully at the environment. Look at the space. Look at the place. You know, is it decorated nice? Is it colorful? Is it clean and tidy? Is it organized? Is it the kind of place that where the children are going to pick up good habits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, do they have colorful pictures on the wall? Are they changing things in the environment regularly to keep it fresh and stimulating?
Mm-hmm.
You know, does the inner environment reflect the outer environment, the changing of the seasons and so on? So they just, you know, something to
Just because that shows you basically that the people who are running the place care about these,
Absolutely.
care about the detail.
Absolutely. Sometimes people say, "Oh, it's only little details," but I say the devil is in the details.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to look at the details.
Mm-hmm.
The devil is in the details there.
Okay, thank you very much for this conversation today. I always enjoy. This is an envision for some reason. I always enjoy these conversations because it gets us talking. I like that. It gets us to discuss things in a semi-respectable manner.
What you mean? We're not throwing things across the kitchen at each other.
Yeah.
Or
This is a bit like
pillow fighting.
This is a bit like counselling, isn't it?
Well, why do you think we're doing this?
Anyway,
because somebody's thought about it before and has put these mechanisms in place.
I wonder who it could have been. It must have been Jasmine. Anyway, yeah.
Nothing happens by accident. Everything is the result. Everything good is the result of careful planning.
You're supposed to keep them at your chin, right?
You're gonna end up punching the microphone if you do that.
I already did that.
No, you're not supposed to keep them at your chin. That's ridiculous.
No?
No. You keep your hands up to the sides of your face. You keep them as close together as possible because you want to protect your head.
You
right?
can't see where you're punching.
Well, you don't want to see where you're punching because if you can see where you're punching, then the person can punch you in the face, can't they? So.
Well, I do want to do when I'm punching because it's not going to be punching blindly.
That tiny space that is between your arms is what you look through, right?
Oh, okay.
Because if you can actually see me, then I can hit you, right? So you don't want that.
Well, you can't because I'm going to be faster. By the time you hit me, your nose is broken. I'm not aggressive at all.
Yes, but
in any way.
I'll have a broken nose and you'll be in hospital.
But you know why I have the bruise the size of Canada on my knee?
I haven't seen. Could you stop playing with the cables and kicking the cables and trying to knee me?
Because
Knee me.
I was practicing the ball kick.
The ball kick, right? Well, let's not do that here.
Okay. But let's get offline and then practice.
And go and do stuff because we've all got.
My God, you've got the students coming in exactly 0 seconds, and I still have to tidy up the kitchen. So, bye everybody.
Thank you very much for watching online. The Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching on YouTube, on Facebook, www.nsa-slovakia.com. Like, share, subscribe, do all the cool stuff. And
21st Century Mum, spelled MUM.com. He's being a bit aggressive now and all pumped up.
It's just a bit insane. Okay.
Just a bit.
Right. It's going to happen every week now that you're going to the gym and doing this training.
Yes! I'm going to be totally insane and in pain.
Insane.
Insane in pain.
Insane and in pain.
Yes.
In the membrane. Okay, right. Say bye to everybody.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening on Facebook and on the podcast, and it will be mirrored up to YouTube later. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.